What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another Warframe video. Today's episode is hella exciting because the long-awaited Silver Grove update is now live on PC, and we're going to briefly cover everything in the new update. Now, keep in mind, I will be doing more in-depth reviews on the important stuff like Titania and the new Gunblade in separate videos, but for now, we're going to take a look at everything PvE in the game from a bird's eye view. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's go ahead and jump in. Firstly, and most importantly, the much-hyped Titania Warframe has been released with this update. Titania can be gained without spending platinum from a quest initiated in the new Loka Conclave room on any relay. Just go in and talk to the nice lady standing there to start it. From my playtime with her so far, I can tell you that Titania is a fairly interesting Warframe that's going to require a bit of getting used to. I plan on covering her a lot more in depth in my next video, so stay tuned. Next up, you'll notice that glyphs have been added to the game. Glyphs are essentially a way to mark your environment with a variety of different pictures, and you can access them under the profile category in the start menu. Once you have your favorite glyph selected, all you need to do is equip the glyph item in your inventory, and you can either set it to a hotkey or manually select it by opening your item wheel and clicking on it. Just make sure you're looking at the surface so you can deploy it. Along with the other stuff on this list, we've also seen the usual influx of cosmetics, and we've even gotten a couple of new weapons. To start, you'll notice in the market that you can now purchase outfits for your operator, and on top of that, a bunch of new customization options have been added for them as well. As for the new melee weapons I mentioned earlier, this first one here is the Sarpa, which to me looks like a very Soma-inspired gunblade, and it even includes a new melee stance called Bullet Dance. Now, total honesty here, I haven't actually acquired the new stance yet, but if it's anything like the base stance for this weapon, I have a feeling it'll be pretty awesome. The other new weapon is a secondary called the Pox. Disgusting, I know, and even more gross is the fact that they've described it as festering sacks of pus and gas that burst violently on impact. If you want to complete your disgusting infested aesthetic, go ahead and add on the new Apoxis Cyandana to complete your look. The next part of this update actually surprised me a little bit, and I'm not really sure if it's because I wasn't paying attention or if it just wasn't mentioned, but apparently our little buddy the Raptor received a sneaky little rework, and with it, he's received a new look and some new mechanics, so watch out. I actually found this boss fight to be really interesting, and it shows that DE is seriously working towards adding engaging boss mechanics to more boss fights. If you want to check out this boss for yourself, make your way to the Nama node on Europa, and you should be able to find him there. Next up, we talked about Endo a few videos ago, and now they've rolled out the first phase of implementing it. I'll be covering Endo more in depth in another video, but from my first impressions, I can see that the conversions are more than fair. For example, I previously didn't even have enough cores to max out a Prime mod, and now it looks as though I can do a couple of them. To me, this was probably the most exciting change so far, and I really can't wait for the second part, which is supposed to include something called treasures that in my opinion might even surpass Platinum, Warframe's hard currency in worth. But that's all just speculation for now, though. And lastly, but not leastly, if you check out the Syndicate offerings, you'll notice that we've got a few new augment mods. The one for Nyx is called Assimilate and allows you to move while in Absorb, but the damage area is reduced. The one for Neza, called Safeguard, affects warding Halo and allows you to cast it on teammates. And finally, we have the new augment for Atlas called Path of Statues. This one affects landslide and leaves a trail behind you for 12 seconds that turns enemies into stone. And that is pretty much going to cover it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We had a huge amount of stuff in this update today, and I'm really excited to dive into a lot of it more in depth, so stay tuned for more videos on some of these things. Before you go, though, consider giving this video a like down below if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for more Warframe news, guides, and other stuff. If I can get enough subscribers, maybe we can convince James Cameron to do a Warframe movie. Just a thought. Anywho, until next time, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.